I love the church. I mean, it's almost all that I know. But lately, it seems that we only love to put on a show and everything has become so shallow. I mean, we come to church and we sing. Don't forget, with eyes closed and hands lifted. From the pages of my heart, let my worship begin but never end. To the God of all flesh. But really, what we mean is, from the surface of my lips, let my singing begin and end in church. 'Cause oh God, I love my flesh. But how would it look if I sang that aloud? How would you view me if you knew how much my head was in the cloud high? Yes, I know that God is the most high and the Holy Ghost is the ultimate high, yet He didn't seem to feel or to heal me when I was in dismay. He only did to me what He did to Jesus on the cross that day. He appears to be the master at looking away. I mean, check it. The world is in fear. There is so much uncertainty. I mean, check it. Coronavirus wouldn't allow us to fellowship together in church. I mean, check it. So yes, I know your next question is, why then are you in church? And I, true Nigerian, will attempt to answer your question with a question and ask you, well, why not? I mean, church is the new school cool, and religion, Christianity is the current trend, and I, featherweight, had no weight against the currents that were thrown at me. They never seemed to end, so I flowed in when tossed into church, and I spoke fluent Christianese. Like, service was so impactful. I feel so blessed. Sister, I was led to give you this dress, and our all-time favorite, my dear, it is well. But you see, this thing was just surface. This phase of no heart, only face Christianity never really fazed me until I had a heart check. More like a heart attack. A total head-on collusion with something alive and sharper than any two-edged sword. When I asked around, I heard it is called the Word. I called 999 to report my cardiac arrest, but I was told that my call was futile. Matter of fact, I was told that it was my fault. Like, you can't play with a sword and complain of being pierced the same way you can't hang around the Word and complain of being arrested. Yes, I had been arrested. This sword, it pierced through my innermost being. This sword shot through my heart and there was no way out. This Word convicted me of sin, corrected me of wrong living. This sword encouraged me. It gave me peace. Even with everything that is going on, it gave me joy. It gave me hope. It gave me faith. This Word gave me calm, kept my sanity. And then it performed the ultimate open heart surgery, like genetics wrote. Through my ignorance, He saw. So through my sternum, He sawed and cracked open my chest to transplant Psalm 51:10, a new heart and a renewed right spirit within. So now I fully understand, better yet, I thoroughly comprehend that even though the Word sounds like a thing, the Word really is a being. For in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He is the Word, God. So now, I live in the rebirthed understanding of the song. From the pages of my heart, let my worship begin but never end, to the God of all flesh. Because worship was never meant to be shallow. It is not a pill that you can just swallow and feel the spiritual high for 3 hours in church and then leave, but not leave. Worship is an overflow, a busting forth not just from your lips, but from your life in general. And because it comes from a heart grateful for love and salvation, grateful for a life redeemed, it cannot end in church. It does not end in church. It cannot end at all. It does not end at all. More so now, the church buildings are closed now. We can't come to church to fellowship. Now we come to understand that church really isn't the four walls of the building. So I'm here to correct the notion. No, our churches are not closed. We are open and we are the church. So the places of worship are not closed. The question is your place of worship open? You see, worship is a relationship of feelings and heart skippings, but even more of commitment. So that even when I don't feel it, I know it. Even when there is fear and uncertainty, I know it. Even when coronavirus wouldn't let me go to work, I know it. I know that you, my Lord and my God, you are always with me, never forsaken me, always beside me, even in seasons so silent, the silence is deafening. So I trust and I have faith. With evidence yet unseen, so I love and I worship. With everything I have within, it has become my lifestyle. And so I have no choice but to overflow. For my obsession, my addiction, I must put on a show for everyone to know him, Jesus. He is the real deal. Guys, his love is so real, but you cannot come to him shallow. You cannot worship him if your heart just won't flow. You cannot do as he pleases if you don't have a relationship of feelings, heart skippings, and of commitment. And it is not by power, it is not by might, but by his spirit within. And the best part of all of this is he wants this for you and I. So he sent me to tell you that his love is ever present. His grace is forever sufficient in your weakness, in your struggles, in your questions. His strength reveals the most, so that you can know that only by his power at work in you can you, in the midst of this storm, have peace, have faith, have hope. Only with him at work in you can you, through your worship, overflow.